Hi, my name is Ruben, and I like to spend money. I like to spend money a lot. I like to spend money on takeout. I like to spend money on vacations. I like to spend money on gifts for friends and families and strangers. I like to spend money on watching movies, seeing plays and musicals, and enjoying stand-up comedy. And I like to spend money playing poker with the buddies. But unfortunately, in the past, I like to spend money I didn't have, which meant credit card debt. Now, I've been in credit card debt before, then I got out of it. And then I got back in credit card debt before, and then I got out of it again. And unfortunately, if you don't nip it in the bud, credit card debt can be a cycle. And that's my history with credit cards. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's bad to get in credit card debt because you already know that. You know that because it feels bad to be in credit card debt. Instead, this video is about Adulting 101, how to read a credit card statement. Not only that, but how to understand a credit card statement. I cherry picked a statement, January 11th, 2024. I picked it because I had a lot of activity. It was my most expensive month. I just got back from an international trip. I just went to see family in another state, and I bought airline tickets and booked hotels for future trips. Along with that, I was in the middle of moving again. Now, before diving in, please like and comment on this video. It helps out a lot. Comment that you hate credit card debt, that you have credit card debt, that you know how to read a credit card statement. Honestly, just comment anything. It helps, and I would love to talk with you more. Now, a credit card statement is a monthly document from your credit card company that summarizes the activity on a credit card account. For regular people, it shows everything that you spent on your credit card in the last billing cycle, usually 30 days. Now, here's my January 11th, 2024 credit card statement. This is it, right here. This is completely real. Now, let's start from the top and move our way down. On the top right, we've got the World of Hyatt credit card summary. The credit card I mostly use is a Chase Hyatt Visa credit card, which means I get World of Hyatt bonus points every time I spend money. Now, these bonus points can be converted into hotel stays, airline miles, restaurants, and even spas. Now, I mostly use them for staying at Hyatt hotels when I travel. I'm a big fan of Hyatt. I earn points based on the amount I spend in specific categories. I get 4 times bonus points when I spend money at Hyatt. That means 4 bonus points per dollar spent. 2 times bonus points when I spend money at restaurants, 2 times bonus points when I spend money on airline tickets, 2 times bonus points when I spend money on local transit, and 2 times bonus points when I spend money on fitness centers and gyms. And I get 1 bonus point when I spend money in general. Now you can see here that I spent enough money to earn 12,772 points. Along with that, Hyatt gives me free nights and other upgrades at hotel rooms throughout the year. Now, Hyatt has the best point-to-dollar rate out of all credit card rewards program. You can even convert your Chase Ultimate Rewards to Hyatt points. Unfortunately, there isn't a referral link available for personal Chase Hyatt credit cards anymore, so you'll have to sign up without a referral link. I did link the Chase Hyatt personal credit card sign up below and other referrals for other Chase credit cards with a short description of what they offer. Now, please be cautious when using a credit card. On the top left, we've got the new balance amount, the minimum payment due, and the payment due date, along with a cute calendar with a couple warnings. Now, the new balance amount is the total amount you owe at the end of the billing cycle. It includes all purchases, fees, interest charges, and any outstanding balances from the previous billing cycles, minus any payments and credits applied to the account during the current billing cycle. This new balance is the amount you need to pay off in order to clear your debt for that billing cycle. Basically, if you pay off this amount, you won't owe any interest, and that is very important. Now, the minimum payment due is the smallest amount you must pay in order to keep your account in good standing and avoid any late fees. Do you see what we're missing in that definition, though? Interest. If you pay the minimum payment due, you will accrue interest. The payment due date is the date that you need to pay your credit card by, or you will incur penalties and possibly interest. Now, common sense advice is for you to pay off that new balance amount of $3,011.26 on or before that date. Now, look at that late payment warning. If we do not receive your payment by the date listed above, you may have to pay a late fee of up to $40, and your APRs will be subject to increase to a maximum penalty APR of 29.99%. Now, APR is the annual percentage rate. That's the interest rate your credit card charges. If you make only the minimum payment each period, you will pay more in interest, and it will take you longer to pay off your balance. They even give you a small, cute little table. If you don't spend any more money and only make the minimum payment, it will take you 11 years and cost a total of $6,796. That's over twice the balance. It then gives you an idea of what happens if you paid about triple the minimum payment. It would still take you over 3 years and cost you a total of $4,108. That's 25% more than the balance. Now, how cute is it that they say you save money? In the middle of the first page of my credit card statement, we have account summary. This is the summary for the billing cycle. You'll see my account number. It's blocked out because it's my account number. Below that, you'll see my previous balance of $6,434.28. This is my balance at the start of the billing cycle. This means that if I didn't pay off that much, I would be getting charged interest. Next, we have payments and credits of $11,879.77. This means that during my billing cycle, I paid $11,879.77 off of my credit card. Now, it's much more than my balance, so why did I do that? Now, I did that because I spent more. My purchases were $8,456.75. And next, you can see cash advances, balance transfers, fees charged, and interest charged of $0. Now, cash advances is where you can take money out of your credit card account. Balance transfers is where you transfer a balance from a different credit card. And fees are things like foreign transaction fees, which my credit card doesn't have, and annual fees, which my credit card does have at $95 per year. And interest charged is interest on previous balances, which I don't have because I paid off my balance in full before the due date. Finally, you have my new balance of $3,011.26. Next, we've got the opening and closing date of December 12th, 2023 to January 11th, 2024. This is also known as the billing cycle. This is what the credit card statement contains, all the purchases and payments that occurred between those two dates. Then we've got credit access line, available credit, cash access line, and available for cash. Now, credit access line and cash access line is the total amount that Chase has authorized for me to use. A credit access line means I could spend up to $42,000 on my credit card, whereas a cash access line means I could withdraw up to $2,100 on my credit card. Now, available credit and available for cash is the amount that I can spend or pull out as of January 11th, 2024. To figure out that number, you would just take your access line and subtract the amount already used. For me, it's $42,000 minus $3,012 for an available credit amount of $38,988. And finally, we have a past due amount and balance over the credit access line at both $0. I do not have any past due amounts, and I didn't spend over my credit access line. On the bottom of the first page is just old school information. I'd use this information if I mailed Chase a check to pay my credit card. Except I pay my credit card statements online, so I don't use the information at the bottom. Now, if you want to write a check, you have the address there of where to mail the check to. The next page is contact information and other general information. Here you'll find out how to make your payments, how to calculate your interest, how to avoid paying interest on purchases, what to do if you find a mistake on your statement, and your rights if you're dissatisfied with your credit card purchases. Now, we'll talk about a few of these later on in this video. Now, this page and subsequent pages include the fun stuff, the account activity. Here you can see my payments and my purchases. These are completely real. Now at the top, you can see that I made a big payment on December 15th for $6,831.22, which is actually more than my previous statement balance of $6,434.28. I then made two tiny payments and another big payment of $4,481.35 on December 29th. So the first payment I made was that so my account was in good standing and I don't owe any interest or any kind of penalties. Look, I don't want to pay any interest, so no thank you. Now the second two smaller payments I made because I'm a bit nutty and I like to see my credit card balance at round whole numbers throughout the month. The last payment I made because I didn't want too large of a credit card balance, and again, I wanted my credit card balance at a nice whole round number. It didn't really matter if I made those 3 of 4 payments because I already paid off my December statement balance. I just did it because. Now, as we scroll down, you can see all of my purchases from December 12th to January 11th. I don't want to make too much excuses, but I just got back from Japan. I was in Los Angeles and I traveled to Michigan and Ohio to see my friends and family for the holidays. Along with that, I purchased some hotels and flights for myself and a couple family members for our trip we made this past May. And I tend to always eat out when I'm traveling, and I eat out much more when I'm around friends. At the time, I didn't have my car, so I had to Uber around, and I rented a car for a little while too. Now, I blocked out a few transactions that are a bit more personal, but my life and but I will say it is not a consistent picture of my spending habits. I don't routinely spend $9,000 in a month. That's a lot. What you'll see though is a transaction date, the business name or description, and the amount. Now the last page shows the 2024 totals year to date. You'll see that I had no fees or interest charged in 2024. Okay, what happens if you find a mistake? Let's just talk about what happens if you find a mistake on your credit card. Unfortunately, almost every credit card company will require you to write to them. And yeah, you heard me correctly, write. While yes, I know, you can go through your mobile app and even call them and talk to them about the mistake, but if they won't help you, then writing them is important. First, for me, I like to try to solve the problem through my mobile app or through a phone call to customer service. And usually I would say 9 out of 10 times, the error is resolved. If not, remember that page we talked about with general information? Let's go back up to that and see this section of what to do if you think you find a mistake on your statement. Now follow those instructions to the exact point. Watch out for any small details that could disqualify you. First, you must contact them within 60 days of the error appearing on your statement. This means you should go over your whole statement with a fine-tooth comb. Second, you must notify them in writing. Again, if you go over the phone or mobile app, they could help you, but for some reason, they aren't required to help you. Now, the cool thing is, you do have rights. While they investigate, they cannot collect the amount in question or report you as delinquent on the amount. Now, they can charge you interest, but if you were correct about the mistake, they cannot charge you interest on that amount. Now, what happens if you bought something but you're just not happy with it? Now, the first step you should try to do is work it out with the business you bought it from. If it's a defective product, try to return it. If it was terrible service, try to get a refund. If none of that works, again, you can go through the mobile app or call them, but if they won't help you there, the number one way that they will review it is by you writing them. Now for Chase, there are some specific rules. The first is, the purchase must have been made in my home state or 100 miles of my current address, and the purchase price must have been more than $50. Second, the purchase must have been made using the credit card. And by the way, cash advances and debit cards do not count, so be careful. And third, you must have not yet fully paid for the purchase. This last one is a bit tricky, but I haven't yet had a problem with disputing a charge I previously paid for, in which I wasn't satisfied for the service. Now again, with both errors and charges disputes, I would first recommend someone going through the mobile app or calling customer service. And lastly, if all else fails, write them a letter. And that's going to take a while. Okay, quickly, let's offer some tips on credit cards. Number 1, I keep around 1 to 2 months of my average spending in the bank account I use for paying off my credit card. For a lot of people, that might be a checking account, but you can also use a high-yield savings account. Wealthfront, for example, offers unlimited withdrawals per month while giving you 5% of interest. Now, I added a referral link below. Number 2, pay off the statement balance in full. Now, this means for my statement here, I need to pay off $3,011.26 to avoid interest. Do that. Number 3, set your payment on autopay. Once your statement comes in, your bank will automatically pay it off. And pick a date that's only a few days after the statement date. So in this case, it would be something like January 15th. Now, I always pay my statement balance in full well before the due date. I just don't like the idea of it being too close. And number 4, don't spend more than you can afford. That's how you get in credit card debt. That's how I got in credit card debt. And you already knew that though. I honestly hope that this whole video was more of a refresher for you than new information, especially if you already have a credit card. Now, I hope that you learned a little bit more about me and a lot more about credit card statements. Now, if you liked today's video, please click that like button and subscribe for more videos like this, including street quizzes, budget breakdowns, and money makeovers. Thanks for watching, and check out my last video on how to choose between Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Peace out.